My dear listener, if you believe in life's lessons and want to walk this journey of wisdom together, subscribe now and be part of this family. The truth about friends in old age. Who stays and who leaves? When you are young, friendship feels endless. Your phone is full of contacts. Your days are busy with people. And you believe you will grow old surrounded by dozens of friends. But life has its own lessons. And one of the hardest truths it teaches is this. As you age, your circle grows smaller. Some friends leave, some drift away, and only a few remain. Before we begin this journey together, let me ask you something from my heart. If you are listening right now, and these words already feel like they are speaking directly to your soul, then subscribe to this channel. Not just to hear more, but to join a family of people who understand, who have lived and who care. Here, you are not just a listener. You are part of something larger. A circle of wisdom that will never leave you alone. Now, let us talk about the truth. The truth about friends in old age. Who stays and who leaves? Part 1. The illusion of endless friends. In school, friendships are born out of simplicity. You sit beside someone in class. You share food during lunch. And suddenly they become your best friend. Childhood friends feel eternal, as if nothing could ever separate you. In your 20s, friendships are wide and abundant. You spend long nights talking about dreams, plans, and ambitions. You believe these people will walk with you through every stage of life. You attend weddings together, welcome children together, and imagine a future where you are still gathering in old age, laughing at the same jokes. Friendship in youth feels effortless. You don't need to schedule calls. You're always together. You don't need to plan meetups months in advance. You simply walk over to their home, knock, and they're ready. But as the years go on, things change. A friend gets a demanding job. Another marries and builds a family. Someone moves away. Another becomes too busy, too tired, too occupied with life. At first, you try to hold on. You send messages. You make phone calls. You suggest meetings. But slowly, the responses come less often. The calls become shorter, and the time between meetings grows longer. And then, one day, you realize the friendship you once thought eternal has quietly faded away. That is when you understand the first truth. Friendships in youth feel endless, but they are not. Life itself decides who will stay and who will leave. Part 2. Who leaves, and why? Friends leave for many reasons. Some leave because of distance. Life pulls them into different directions, new cities, new countries, new paths. You keep in touch for a while, but the calls become less frequent until silence takes over. Some leave because of circumstance. They get busy with family, careers, and responsibilities. Not because they don't care, but because they no longer have the time or energy to give. Some leave because they were never truly friends at all. They were companions of convenience, present for the laughter, the parties, the bright days, but absent in your pain, in your struggles, in your darkest hours. And then there are those friends who leave because time takes them away. Through illness, through death, and suddenly, someone you thought would always be there is gone forever. The truth is, losing friends in old age is one of the hardest pains to carry. You don't just lose people, you lose years of memories, inside jokes, familiar voices, and moments that will never return. But life whispers another truth. Alongside the pain, not everyone who begins the journey with you is meant to finish it. Some people are chapters, not the whole story. Take a moment and subscribe to this channel, so whenever life feels heavy, you know there is a place waiting for you, a place of wisdom and companionship. Part 3. Who stays, and why? Yet, in that shrinking circle, you discover something precious. the few who remain. These are the friends who do not count how often you call. They are simply glad when you do. They don't need daily contact. When you meet again, the bond is exactly the same, as if no time has passed. These are the friends who don't disappear when life gets heavy. Instead, they sit with you through the silence, through the sorrow, through the stillness. Why do they stay? Because their friendship was never built on convenience. It was built on loyalty, love, and respect. And in old age, you realize something powerful. True friends are not the ones who made you laugh the loudest. They are the ones who made you feel less alone. Part 4. The pain of loneliness. Old age has many blessings: wisdom, perspective, a calmer way of looking at life. But it also brings something else: loneliness. There are mornings when the phone does not ring, afternoons when no one visits, evenings when the chair beside you is empty, nights when silence feels louder than any words. It is in these quiet hours that memories of old friends return. You remember the long talks, the endless laughter, the faces that once filled your days. And you wonder, where are they now? Some are gone. Some are far. Some simply stopped walking beside you. The loneliness is heavy. But here is a truth to hold on to. Loneliness does not mean you are unloved. It simply means your circle has been refined. What remains now are the truest of souls. Part 5. Stories of friendship. Let me tell you some stories that echo in many lives. The friend who came back. A man once had a childhood friend. They grew up on the same street, went to the same school, and dreamed the same dreams. Life separated them for 40 years. Then one day, by chance, they met again. And instantly, it was as if no time had passed. That is the beauty of true friendship. It survives silence. It survives distance. It survives years. The friend who became family. There was an elderly gentleman with no siblings. But he had one friend who lived nearby. For 50 years, that friend was always there. At weddings, at funerals, at hospital visits. The old man would often say, "He is not my friend. He is my brother." And truly, some friends become family chosen by the soul. Perhaps you too have such a story. A friend you lost. A friend who surprised you by staying. A friend who became family. These stories live in the hearts of everyone who has grown old. Part 6. Friendship through different stages of life. In childhood, friends are made of play. In youth, friends are made of dreams. In adulthood, friends are made of support. In old age, friends are made of presence. Notice how it changes. In the beginning, you need friends to laugh with. In the end, you need friends to sit with, to share silence, to simply be there. In cultures where family is strong, friends often become part of the family itself. They are treated like brothers and sisters, uncles and aunts. In other cultures where individual life is stronger, friendships often replace family, becoming the only circle of support. You just need true ones. Part 7. Lessons of friendship in old age. So, what does life teach us about friendship? Not everyone is meant to stay. And that is all right. True friends are rare. And that is enough. Friendship is not about how many years you know someone. It is about who stands beside you. When you have nothing left to offer, but your time and your heart, the circle may shrink, but the bond will deepen. Friends in old age are not about quantity. They are about presence. And my dear listener, if these words are touching your heart right now, I invite you to subscribe to this channel, not just to hear more stories, but to remind yourself every day that you are not alone. Here, you will always find wisdom, compassion, and a place where your experiences are understood. Subscribe and let us walk this journey together, hand in hand, heart to heart. Part 8. The wisdom. In old age, do not chase those who have left. Do not reopen doors that have been closed by life. Instead, cherish the ones who are still here. Call them, visit them, sit in silence with them. Because one day, even they will be gone. And before I leave you with these thoughts, let me once again say this with love. Subscribe to this channel, not as a formality, but as a promise. A promise that here you will always find a companion, a reminder, a family of wisdom. Because here, you will never walk alone.